It's me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies inside of self at 7:44 a.m. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that energy reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see changes, we must make changes within us. Welcome. I'm back. I had a week off. It is the first week I've truly taken off from live readings. I did not take the week off. It's me. I worked, okay? But I did some awesome stuff, okay? I created or I finished finally a course on spiritual nourishment. It's called Becoming the Empress. And it is going to, I hope, facilitate helping you balance energy within self. And we're starting with the feminine because ladies first. And because the foundation of a person who is able to be fully embodied in their power, that foundation is built from the throne of the Empress, which is built from her ability to nourish herself. Good morning, Gina. So, in order to be fully functional in all the other areas of your life, you have to be able to nourish yourself. And this includes food, but it's also spiritual nourishment, pleasure, and adornment. So, I've made a very affordable, really awesome 4-week self guided course with tarot readings and meditations and rituals and journal prompts for you to start getting deep into your divine feminine energy. The course is going to develop. The first part is over 1 month. There will be 2 more parts for the Empress, and then we will begin the Emperor after that. So it's really going to be an amazing way to help you learn how to balance yourself so that you can not only just find out what your twin is doing, but also actually do the stuff that your twin needs to do in order for you ever to come into union. So it's great. And if you're interested in that, I'm going to do a soft launch on the 23rd, and you can purchase the program for $55. And then I will give you a gift code so that you can give it to someone as a gift for the holidays, or you can split it with a buddy because when you're doing journal prompts and stuff like that, it's really good to read back to the person that you are kind of doing it together and sort of help each other unravel and go through that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be coming out on the 23rd along with membership. You can also become a member at pearlsprayers.com because as of this week, there will not be Tell Me Everything readings on a regular basis on YouTube. They will just be on my website, but it's only going to be $3 to become a member. So if you still want to get those Tell Me Everything spreads, it's very simple to do it. And I'm only doing that so that I don't have to do all of this kind of stuff when I do these live readings. I just want to have a comfortable baseline and not have to be like, please help me. Because this last week that I wasn't working, I definitely did not make what I normally make. And it's Christmas and I don't get to give my family gifts. And I can hate that. So please, if you could be generous this week with me, I would really appreciate it. You can click support. You can book a personal reading. You can book gift readings. There's going to be gift codes available by tomorrow. All of that's going to be taken care of. Okay, that's all the announcements. I know you're so anxious to find out what's going on, me too, because I have just also been not checking in with you for this whole week. So let us begin. We will start. We come here thinking we need something. Good morning, Melissa. We think we need something. Okay, I think I need something. I definitely need that thing, but I think I need something, right? You think you need something. And the universe is like, that's what you think you need, but this is what you really need. So after we leave this reading today and hear all these messages, this would be to our the highest good of all, for me, for you, for your twin, for everybody. It's the lovers. That was what I thought I needed. Wow, I must be in alignment with the universe. I love this. Hi there, sunshine. Thank you. I'm doing a little bit better. I had an amazing healing last night. One of the benefits to my job is that most of the people who follow me are also healers. So for this entire week, I didn't have to go to the doctor. I didn't have to spend a lot of money on any healing modalities because people kept texting me and saying, would you like Reiki? Would you like me to run you through the Healy? Do you need this? Do you need that? So I've been very supportive this past week. I did come back negative for COVID, although my friends had it. So I don't know how I don't have it, but whenever I'm going to get tested again later today, make sure I don't have it for sure. Here's what we need: the lovers. So right now, these messages, what would benefit us is if they helped bring us into physical union. If they helped bring us manifest what it is that we desired. If we could see a culmination of the thing that we desired come together. And if we could be in a state of love, right? If we could love one another. So, okay. Usually I feel I get to be like, haha, this is what you think you need. And then it's like, oh, that's what you wanted. Well, today we get what we wanted, I guess. All right. To be fair, we have to do Divine Masculine first because he had more cards showing. Brace yourself for this Divine Masculine energy. I don't know. Y'all both look a little bit. I mean, every card I see for the feminine is in reverse, and for the masculine, same. Wait, is that true? Yes. Okay. When this happens, this is top of the deck, bottom of the deck, niggling feelings, all but one in reverse, and then many in reverse coming out here in this spread. So when this happens, whatever you hear today, it is transitioning. It is turning around, because if every single card is in reverse, that's showing me that the energy is like moving, shifting. So whatever baseline we get today, this is like a big shifting point for us. And it's interesting because it's right before the solstice tomorrow, which makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's get started. So Divine Masculine, top of the deck, overall headspace, the thing that's consuming his mind, Four of Pentacles in reverse. So does not want to let go of something at all. And is feeling like that solid foundation that was always there pulled out from under him. So this is like a rug pulled out from under him feeling. And he's just really, really not wanting to let this material manifestation go. I'm guessing the feminine. He's not wanting to let the feminine go. This really looks like a reading from a masculine who is feeling like the feminine is piecing out. And I can't see the feminine's full spread yet, but that might be the case. So Divine Masculine is like, like his song today. If you didn't see the Instagram, I actually talked about the songs today. What a rare treat for us all, seeing as this is tuned in tarot, and that's how I started the whole account. But the songs that came up were for the masculine, we got They Are Night Zombies. And I read on the Instagram today that the thing that stood out to me the most was this part of the song that says, I know. Well, it says, waking the earth, it lifts and lags. We see 1,000 rooms to rest, helping us taste the bite of death. I know, my time is past. I'm not so young, I'm not so fast. I tremble with the nervous thought of having been at last forgot. So Divine Masculine is definitely feeling like he is losing something or has lost something and doesn't want to let it go. The niggling thing, the thing that's bugging him in the back of his mind. So underlying all of his thoughts and decisions is this Two of Pentacles card. And I'm overwhelmed with this feeling of him thinking like, I did this to myself, and that's what really hurts. Because this came from a choice that Divine Masculine made to juggle other energy instead of choosing to go into a union with feminine. Masculine has chosen to juggle career or karmic partnerships or, whatever it is. It really doesn't matter. He didn't choose the feminine. He chose most likely the material, the external validation, his concerns about his reputation, which for this feminine is laughable at this point in terms of the person that I focus on as my masculine. I'm like, bitch, you didn't choose me because you're worried about your reputation? Okay, well then you probably shouldn't be doing shit that I'm hearing about from people, which is like making your reputation not cool at all. Like, not cool. So, divine masculine is struggling with the fact that he made these choices that now have created this external situation that he doesn't want to let go of, but sort of chose to let go of by how he behaved. So the very first thing on his mind, it's not surprisingly, death. And this is in the past placement, so we know that this is something that has happened. Something has ended. And also, I think he feels like dying. I think he feels like death. But what we know about the death card is that it is really not a bad card. It is a card about transformation and transitioning from a state of suffering into a state of liberation, right? You're no longer trapped in the body. You're no longer trapped in the pain or the suffering that came before. You're now free. So this is a blessing and a curse for the masculine. He definitely wants a new beginning. In this present moment, he is feeling suspended and drained of his energy. And he is trying to get perspective on that niggling thing in the back of his mind, the choices that he has made. I think for a long time, this masculine energy was always sort of fobbing off all of his problems on some kind of an outside, most likely karmic partner that he had from the past, or maternal energy or something. We saw it come up all the time in the readings, but there was this feeling like, oh, I'm being drained by all these others around me. But this is a headspace that is suffering from awareness that the vampire in the situation is himself. So he's suspending himself right now to figure out why this Three of Swords, why he has put himself, because he's realizing this was my choice. I chose to let something die. And I have to understand why, because now what was once just two swords, the inability to make a decision, now there are three swords and an entanglement. So there's karmic energy that needs to be released. And I don't think it's masculine's karmic energy anymore because of the divine feminine's music that came up, and we'll get to her. But divine feminine songs today were How Long Has This Been Going On from Funny Face, which is like, do I like this person? How long have I felt this way? Like, I didn't realize that. And Fallen by Jason Derulo, which is literally like, I've fallen for you. So feminine, while divine masculine was hanging out, while he made this decision to ignore the eternal connection, divine feminine potentially now has brought in new energy. Here's the Seven of Cups. This is the card that has been a real problem, right? Because this is a card about confusion, other opportunities, other options, not knowing what cup to choose. And this is the card that is clarifying the death card in the headspace. So divine masculine literally ended his whole situation. Thank you, Elizabeth. My readings are always so accurate. As I'm reading them, I'm like, oh my God, this is my story too. The divine masculine caused the death of this relationship by choosing other options. And now divine masculine feels like dying because the feminine is no longer offering her cup to the masculine. She is considering her other options. This Hanged Man energy is being clarified by the Ace of Swords in reverse. And look at that lemniscate. That won't go away. Keeps coming back. That's the thing about this connection. That's what makes it so difficult. The feminine has liberated herself from the cycle that this connection is in. It creates. The feminine has realized, oh, my connection is eternal. So I can give myself my own happiness and always be eternally connected to the masculine, right? Because she knows this, she's free to go start new entanglements because she's never going to lose something that is eternal. She's like, oh, well, it didn't work out in this lifetime. See you in the next lifetime. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean I don't have deep feelings for you, but it does mean that I love myself and I'm definitely not going to be drained by you any longer, kept in suspension for you any longer. And for this is a truth, a shocking truth, a revelation that this divine masculine does not want to face. Because divine masculine really was keeping the feminine suspended, thinking that he would always have the time he needed to be able to come back to this because it was an eternal connection. Not understanding that eternal connections don't mean that you can keep someone in eternal hell. It just means better luck next time, right? Like, if you can heal these wounds that you've had, then better luck next time, okay? And he doesn't want to look at this. He doesn't want to face this. He has to get perspectives because he can see that the way he has been thinking about these things certainly has not panned out for him in any positive way. And the final card, clarifying this Three of Swords, I did this to myself. And that's the truth that we don't like to embrace. This is the Eight of Swords. This butterfly, if the butterfly opens its wings, it will be cut on these swords and it will not be able to fly. It will be dead, right? That's a fear, though, because the swords aren't actually tools of violence. They're thoughts. This is a mental prison. These swords would disappear as soon as the masculine realized that he created this prison himself. And this is the truth that he really needs to embrace. That's very difficult. He knows this, though. He knows this. This, all I can hear over and over right now is the Radiohead song. You do it to yourself, you do, and that's what really hurts, right? Wow, my voice is great today. Oh my God, stop with the cards of union. Top of the deck, overall heart space for this masculine, clarifying this Four of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse. So this is the headspace being like, I don't want to let go of my material manifestation that I want. I don't want to let go of this feminine that I'm attached to. And the King of Swords in reverse is, in this instance, this king is there. So the Prisma Visions Tarot has a storyline, a panoramic. And thank you for the person who, there was one day I was trying to remember what that word was, and somebody was like, it's this word in the comments. So thank you. Panoramic. If you put this whole deck together, it shows an entire scene. And in the swords suit, we're in this wintry setting, and this is the 9 of Swords. This is the niggling feeling in the back of this masculine's mind or heart space. The feeling that's really bothering him. This is anxiety, fear, and that in this case, this individual has just given up and surrendered to being consumed by this beast. Now, from the 8 to the 9 of Swords, we know we're closing in on that 10 of Swords for that end, for that final end of separation, completion energy, but we're hovering there. And the reason why I want to bring this card in before I really went into this one is so that I can tell the storyline a little better, because here we see this fully grown, terrifying monster, okay? And in this image of the King of Swords, we see these babies that are in this nest. This is who is like, clearly this is like a really angry mother, like a mother that's protecting her babies, okay? But these are beastly beings, right? This is not like a good mothering energy. This is something not good, but she is really trying to protect what is hers. And in this case, the King of Swords is using his intellect to transform these infants, these children, into healthy individuals. And this is what divine masculine is not wanting to let go of, okay? So for those in this storyline, hi Lacey, on my website, I'm going to have a Venmo link, but I have a PayPal link. If you click support, it takes you right to PayPal. And you can also, I just don't have my business Venmo set up yet, but that's going to be all set up by the end of the week. So thanks for asking, and thanks for saying welcome back. So there is, obviously this is a collective reading. So there are some masculines that this is his own children, right? There's something about, he's done something. Either he doesn't want to let go of his old family, or he doesn't want to let go of the current divine feminine, but has had to be icy and cold and aloof because of his current family, because of this. There's something about that for some people in the collective, that message coming through. But that, remember, whatever details we just said about this potential person, those are just details, because the energy itself is that there is something that this masculine is afraid of. There is a feminine energy. This could be the divine feminine that this masculine is afraid of. This could be him feeling that because he didn't really heal himself and didn't transform his bad habits and didn't really do anything to stop being icy cold and aloof and emotionally detached, that now his divine feminine is going to leave him, and he's terrified of that. So it doesn't, that's why I'm saying it really doesn't matter if the reason that he's terrified is because he has a family and he held on to the family, and it's so irrelevant. All that is doing is just being like, oh, that resonates with me because that's happening to me. Great. But the energy itself is just that. It is just that the divine masculine is afraid. He's afraid to let go. He's afraid of the divine feminine. He's afraid to embrace new ideas, new beliefs about himself. He's afraid. This is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and it is clarifying the death. So divine masculine, a couple layers here. Number one, he fears that he's lost the divine feminine. The 9 of Pentacles is being attached to a specific feminine. So there's a person he fears he has lost. Okay. He's also feeling that person being in her 9 of Pentacles energy has ended the potential transformation of their relationship into a union. He's concerned. He's worried about that. His own shadowy Nine of Pentacles energy is what has really caused this death, because he couldn't keep it in his pants, either literally or proverbially. Like, he's caused this ending. Here's the Four of Wands, which is clarifying the Hanged Man. So this divine masculine is really trying to get perspective on commitment, on that he wanted this. He wanted this celebration of, I literally, just before I came onto YouTube, I put up the Instagram stories for today, and I follow this awesome account. What's her name? It's like Lane, or is it Lana, or Hello Lane Moore is the account. And she had, when your avoidant pursues you, tells you they love you, and then you're like, okay, let's date, and they say they can't do this. I was like, bitch, exactly. Like, why? So the masculine is aware of his being avoidant. He's aware that he pursued you, told you he loved you, and then when you said okay, was like, yeah, I can't do this. So he's trying to get, this is what he's trying to get perspective on. He wants the commitment. He wants the twin flame union. He wants that. And yet, Two of Cups, clarifying this Three of Swords. And yet, very interesting. The heart is, I don't want to be single. I want to be married. I want to have a physical union. Guess who that sounds like? Divine Feminine. So the masculine heart space is absolutely in alignment with the feminine. And then his headspace is doing this. We're literally seeing divine masculine's fears of commitment, his fear of attracting a vampiric energy, like the one he probably had experienced in the past, right? Could be a parent, guardian, or former past lover, doesn't really matter. Afraid to attract heartbreak, pain, suffering again. And so what does he do? Instead of following through with the union with this feminine, who he would not experience pain and suffering and trauma with, he's engaged in third-party energy with other individuals so that he can't come into union and potentially experience what he's now causing the feminine to experience. So the divine masculine is treating the feminine how he was treated in the past. Cool. It's just too bad that he's doing that to a feminine energy that would never do that. Here's the Judgment card in reverse, clarifying the Seven of Cups. He's judging himself very harshly for this. And he's being judged. And he can't forgive himself. And because he can't forgive himself, he keeps hurting the feminine. It's so frustrating. And that's the thing about this judgment too. Look at this. We've got this void here. This void. That is what we're always trying to fill. That void. But that void is only filled by love. It's only filled by love. It's and oh, gotta say it. God is love. Unconditional. Our relationships teach us a pale comparison of God's love. The twin flame relationship teaches you the closest you can get to divine love because it is completely forgiving. I already told my friend the other day, I have forgiven my masculine for what he did. But I can't feel like the spark or the passion, because I don't think I would let myself because of this, right? But I do forgive it. I know that he didn't do that to hurt me. I know that he did that to hurt himself. And while I can forgive him, which he can't forgive himself, while I can forgive him, I will not tolerate it. And look, here's the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Swords in reverse. He does not want to be truthful. He does not want to come in with any recklessness. He doesn't want to have to confess to the feminine that he has done these things and is afraid that he's going to keep doing it. And so he's protecting himself from this wrath of this Queen of Wands in reverse. This is also another layer here, which is that he is furious and so jealous about divine feminine cultivating other entanglements of her own. And yet recognizing that there's really no other thing for her to do because he is the one who suspended their union. This masculine is not doing well. This is all ego, all of this. The whole reading, everything. From the Four of Pentacles in reverse to the Nine of Swords as the underlying anxiety, to this Eight of Swords and this Queen of Wands in reverse, to the King of Swords in reverse. This is someone who is stuck in their headspace, refusing to feel their feelings. And I hope the oracles can help because that's not so great. Let's go look at the feminine with these reversals. I cannot. Wow. Hey, guess what, feminine? 2 kings in your spread. Oh my God, that reminds me of this most fascinating detail of my life. Years ago, I used to live in Michigan, in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I found out that oh my God, I can't remember the name of the band now. Damn it. It's the band that sang in the 90s the song, 1, 2, Prince is here before you. That's what I said now. That guy? Okay. They were doing a concert at a tiny bar, like outside of Detroit, and I got to go. And the lead singer sang that song, 2 Princes, to me. Because I was in the front row, bitch. There was like hardly anybody there. I was so happy. I was like, my 7th grade self is doing backflips right now of joy for this moment. I just remembered that. Great memory. Okay. Top of the deck, overall headspace, this divine feminine. The 8 of Wands in reverse because there is no communication. Oh my God, my brother is the worst. He just sent me this text. Do you think Liam Gallagher calls his brother tomorrow and wishes him a happy Solstice? Jamin, you are canceled. I can't with you. His puns are so bad. And all that's happened as he's gotten older and now has 2 daughters is that they're even worse. And I feel so bad for my nieces. Okay, anyway. There's no communication. And this is the overall thing on her mind. So this is either not getting it, not sending it, both. This is also feeling like this wanting to go with the flow, but having a really hard time doing it. The niggling thing, the thing that's bugging her in the back of her mind, underlying all her thoughts and decisions, is this 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And the thing that I thought of when I saw it is it's just not finished. something's not been finished, something's not done. And that's not normally something I think about when I see the Eight of Pentacles, but in this image, the masculine is working on something. And I just have this feeling that divine feminine is feeling like something is not done. So there's something that didn't get finished, a work that she was trying to work. This is not for personal readings, Ivanka. You'll probably get information about your situation from this reading. But if you would like a personal reading, please go to pearlsprayers.com and click on Tuned in Tarot, and you can see all the options for personal readings there. And sometimes I do live on TikTok as well. So find me on TikTok. Probably not today because I'm sounding pretty rough today. I don't know that I'll be doing more than this reading, but throughout the rest of the week. You're welcome. So the feminine right now is just thinking that there's something that's not finished with this masculine, or he was doing something and he didn't finish it, or he didn't give her closure or something. I also feel like she maybe is having a hard time working or focusing on her work, or maybe she's just feeling like there's just not a lot of momentum, like, or drive or ambition or something. The first thing on her mind, kind of confirming that, is this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this was the first thing that came up for the masculine yesterday. It was weird. I don't know if it's because I was out of it or because I was just like not really planning to do a reading. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'll do a TikTok reading. And then I started doing the reading, and I did the masculine reading using a deck that I normally consider a feminine deck. And it was a great reading. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just leave it, I guess. And then I was like, well, I'll use the masculine deck for the feminine one. Just like, why not? And obviously it's just an energy. There's no real, like, I can use any deck I want, but I just have certain feelings for certain decks. I also did that reading in a different style than I normally do it. It was weird. After I finished, I was like, I don't know why I did that. I was called to, I guess. But this came up for the masculine yesterday, and it was what he was sorry about. And he was sorry that divine feminine was the one, and that he didn't prioritize her this way. So the feminine is feeling this. She's feeling like she's not prioritized, and that she maybe doesn't prioritize herself. And I'm not going to say maybe. She doesn't prioritize herself. If she does, then there would be other people who would do that too. But it's 8:22 on the clock and 37:22 on the timer when I looked at it. But so she definitely is feeling this lack. She's feeling also, I mean, this last week for me financially really killed me because I didn't work normally. So, you know, she might even be having some financial issues. But she's just not feeling like her most confident self. She might also be over mothering or protecting the masculine energy, or feeling called to do that. Like, listen, divine feminine knows divine masculine is thinking what he's thinking and feeling what he's feeling. She knows that. She's psychic. So she might be tempted to like try to do something about that. I might have to go get a cough drop. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do it because I thought of it and it's going to be a problem right now. I'll be right back. I have my shadow with me here. If I move, she has to go wherever I go. Go lay down, babes. Okay, she probably just got excited because she thought the reading was done and she was going to get to go outside. Okay. Yes. I don't think I'm going to survive without that. All right. Sorry about that. So, not feeling worthy, not feeling the greatest, not feeling prioritized, not prioritizing herself, followed by the King of Swords. Here he is over here in his shadow. And this King of Swords is in the light. This is a king who is telling the truth, who's transparent, who's in his integrity. Somebody who is strategic. I feel like there's strategy coming from this person. Divine Feminine is embodying this herself, right? She's in her integrity. She's being truthful. She's not hiding things from anyone. And she's also maybe needing to emotionally detach, especially if she's being over-mothering, feeling this over-mothering feeling or overprotective feeling. If she's thinking about her divine masculine being sad, then she's trying to like protect him from those feelings. Damn, I hope I'm going to be able to finish this reading. Ew, coffee with Ricola. I don't know, guys. I might have to come back in a bit. All right, I'm going to try to keep going. Okay, King of Swords. I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because of this horrible tickling feeling in my chest. Okay. So she's having to emotionally detach. And then what's coming out next is the Chariot in reverse. So there's a feeling of keeping it pushing or moving on or going forward. And there's a reluctance or a resistance to fully engage with this energy. She's like not quite able to force herself to like move on. She has to emotionally detach to do it. So I think she's working on it, but it is very difficult. I do think she feels like there's a big mess now, or things are chaotic or out of her control, and she doesn't like the feeling. That's also why we're getting this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And it looks like there might be this king who's kind of thrown her off her game. Very interesting. Somebody who is honest and is transparent and is in their integrity. And maybe she's pulling back on the reins with this person and not going the flow with this person because of the divine masculine not being done his work, not being finished, and her being aware of that. And the songs for her, like, how long has this been going on? This is that song is about being out of touch with your feelings and then starting to be like, wait, am I starting to feel something for this other person? Should I feel it? Should I try not to feel it? Like, I don't want to hurt this person. They seem very good. Okay. But I have this past. This is the Six of Cups. This is the Six of Cups upright. And it's clarifying this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I have this past love that I'm very overprotective and over mothering, over nurturing towards. And I don't want to hurt that person. And you know what? Oh my God. That makes me so, that makes me actually want to cry. Not just from having a tickle in my chest. But knowing that this feminine has been wounded so badly, hurt so much by this past person, and so deserves to have a person in her life that is truthful, honest. So deserves that, and is feeling guilt and feeling like she doesn't want to do anything to hurt this poor person who fucked her over, which makes what that person did just so much more like difficult for my ego to accept, you know? Because this feminine has every right to go for this energy that is in his integrity. And she's pulling the reins back because she doesn't want to hurt this new person, and nor does she want to hurt the person who hurt her. This guy, the King of Cups. This is the Divine masculine energy, who is a good person, but does not have the ability to express his emotions or feelings. And it's clarifying the King of Swords. This is a person who communicates everything, although they may be detached from their emotions. They're more in command of them. In the shadow, this is somebody who's really not in, he's not in touch with his feelings, right? That's a shadow. But a king of Swords in the light, he is in command of his emotions. He's aware of them. He doesn't deny them. He's actually moved into a strategic area with them. He's like, okay, this is how I feel, and I'm going to do something about it. And this king, he has such a good heart, and he's so sensitive and everything, and he's so psychic, but he has trouble communicating. This also might be one person. It's really funny because one of the people in my life has this going on in their chart, like a very no-nonsense kind of a moon and, a real watery sun and rising. Actually, both people, I'm realizing. But so there's a potential for some of the collective that there are two options. There's also the potential that these are just two sides of one person, but I know that the divine masculine isn't in union with this King of Swords upright, and I see another King of Swords in reverse, so I know that this is not the same king. This is someone else, or it's the divine feminine herself embodying this energy, and because she is in this energy, she cannot be with a masculine who cannot reflect that back to her. So she's holding on to that past king. And here we go. The Six of Pentacles is in reverse, clarifying the Chariot in reverse. So there is no motion forward with the King of Cups because there is no reciprocation. And also the motion forward with the King of Swords is also suspended because the feminine is finding it difficult to reciprocate because of the unfinished business with the divine masculine. That's exactly what this card is feeling to me. 8 of Coins in reverse, unfinished business. Do y'all feel that? I've not thought of that before, but this is the card about working on something, creating something, crafting something. For it to be in its reverse is like unfinished business. So because of that, divine feminine's headspace is very... She's thinking a lot. She's not overthinking because we're getting an appropriate amount of cards for her. But she's being very kind of detached. And the reason we're seeing that is the top of the deck, overall heart space. We've got the Devil in reverse. So she's really releasing this codependency, this attachment to a karmic partner that she may have mistaken for a soulmate, but was really more of, an unhealed individual that was just meant to sort of catalyze her experience, her spiritual journey. 8:33 on the clock, 48 minutes on the timer. So she's also withholding pleasure. It's so frustrating to me. I'm going to rewatch this and be like, no. Divine feminine could go full speed ahead right now. Full speed ahead into the light of this card, which is having pleasure. Physical, sexual, sensual, sacred, sexual pleasure. Because it wouldn't be in shadow, it would be in the light. But she's afraid. She's trying to release those fears. She's trying to release the ego's hold over her. She's trying to release how her brain is using this past relationship to keep her from having a good new relationship. It's very hard, and she's really struggling with it. But she's doing her best to release this. This is the King of Swords in reverse, which is literally the state of overthinking. In union with divine masculine, top of the deck heart space, which was the King of Swords in reverse. And this depiction of the King of Swords, look how different, okay? This guy, this is how I know it's two different guys. This guy doesn't look frightening. You know, he's got this full spectrum of color. He looks determined, firm. But this is a soldier who's wearing a mask. And if you look in the mask, it looks like there's nothing there. It looks like he's hollow and he doesn't have any feelings. I do think the feminine has a hard time feeling pleasure because she is in her headspace so much worried about what will happen if she does. Hey, guess who that sounds like? The masculine. And you're like, wait, but the masculine's been sticking his dick in every hole that's available. And you're like, yeah, that's right. And receiving no pleasure. Because a person who has a sexual addiction does not receive any pleasure from sex. Just like an alcoholic doesn't receive pleasure from alcohol. I, as a cannabis smoker, I don't even really receive pleasure from smoking cannabis anymore. It pretty much doesn't get me high. It's just like, oh, it's a habit. So the feminine doesn't engage in sex because of her feelings about this past person. And the masculine engages in sex all the time and doesn't feel pleasure. And the feminine can't feel pleasure because when she tries to experience sexual pleasure, all she can think about is the masculine betraying her by having his needs met by people who were not his divine counterpart. That's why the feminine is feeling stuck right now. She is overfeeling. The first card out, clarifying this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, is the Knight of Swords upright. We already saw the masculine energy with the Knight of Swords in reverse. Here's the thing. What did I say at the beginning of the reading? I said there's a lot of cards in reverse here. And when I see that, I know that things are shifting and changing. The shifting and changing we're seeing is that the masculine energy is beginning to shift upright, right? So these things that he's worried and afraid of, he's beginning to shift upright so that he can match the feminine. Which means that the feminine is going to be able to engage in pleasure with masculine energy. But she has to let go of that past energy to do that. Because it is, remember, not just a person, this masculine person that you're focused on that's having trouble letting go. It's you. That was displayed by you holding on to the past and not being able to enjoy pleasure in the moment. So you're in union. Divine Feminine is being honest with herself about how she cannot give her energy, she cannot give her pentacle to someone who doesn't prioritize her. This Ace of Cups is such a unique Ace of Cups. This is coming from the Ostara Tarot, clarifying the Fountain Tarot, by the way. I forgot to mention that that was the name. In the headspace for the masculine, we were using the Wild Unknown as well. And I don't know if I said it, but this is the Prisma Visions deck. So this is an interesting Ace of Cups because it's one of the only Ace of Cups I know of that has more than one individual or more than one, more than one individual on it. Normally there's just one cup, one person, but we see two people here. And what I really love is that this person who's holding the cup, and we're going to assume that this is feminine, her cup is full and it's overflowing. And this person, this guy right here, this person is adding to her cup. And Divine Feminine has to be honest with herself about that. He's not drinking from her cup. He's adding more to her cup. In the past, the masculine energy simply drained the feminine. But in this current circumstance with the feminine, there is an energy around her that is actually filling her cup, not taking from it, not draining it. And this is so interesting because this is the Six of Pentacles, which was right below this Chariot in reverse. Divine Feminine has been afraid to reciprocate with the masculine who's filling her cup because of the fears she has about carrying the past with her. But her heart space is absolutely feeling you are receiving reciprocity from this person. The scales are being balanced, and you're afraid that being in a reciprocal relationship with this energy is going to cause chaos or make things out of control. But the heart is saying, surrender the reins. It is not up to you to control the outcome. It is just up to you to follow your intuition. And your intuition should always be led by love. If you have asked for something and you're receiving it, then you need to go that way. Because this Six of Cups, oh, I have chills, is being clarified by the Emperor, which is directly below this Knight of Swords. Divine Feminine the reciprocation that you want is coming to you from a divine masculine energy. What if all twins end up with a twin? So what if the person that you think is your twin, the person that doesn't communicate with you, the person from your past, whatever. Let's say that person is your energetic counterpart, your twin. No one knows the truth of the twin flame tale. There's no authority. But you know that there are these uncanny resemblances in this masculine energy or feminine energy to this person that you're focused on. That person that's taught you all these lessons. Okay, great. What if you're not supposed to end up with your twin, but you end up with a twin, a masculine energy that has done their healing, that has learned from their past, that has become the Emperor? Your twin is not that person right now. But what if there is a twin that is for you, but you can't see it because you keep holding on to this old one that you were just supposed to spark into their highest version of self so that they could be a divine masculine for another twin that was closer in their journey to where they are? It doesn't diminish the love you have for that person. In fact, maybe it helps you, because divine feminine in her heart space knows that there is a masculine energy that is adding to her cup, not draining it. And because her heart feels this way, she is blocking the past divine masculine potentially, or she's not wanting to make this decision. She is having a difficult time deciding to walk away from this past energy. What her heart is really urging her, here's the Six of Pentacles in reverse, being clarified by that Eight of Pentacles. Remember, unfinished business. And the Eight of Cups. The only unfinished business here is that you must walk away towards your higher calling, divine feminine, which is what? Reciprocation. Self-love. Truth, integrity. Divine masculine energies. Does the person you are focused on, who is your twin, look like this? No. They don't. We already saw what it looked like. It didn't look like that. It looked like somebody who was remorseful, somebody who wasn't willing to look at the truth of their behavior, somebody that didn't want to let go, somebody that wasn't willing to walk away. So if you don't want to be that person, if you want to be the person that you want to attract, then you have to let go and walk away completely. Hopefully the oracles are going to help us figure out how to do this, because I don't fucking know how to do that. So let's do this. I'm learning. I'm going to say I'm learning. It's a slow, steady progress. All right. Divine masculine energy. You are in the light attributes right now of the networker. That's the letter writing. There's the communication there. 8 of Wands energy. Those are 8 letters. It says enhances unity through the sharing of information and engenders social awareness and empathy. So divine masculine, you're in the light attributes right now. You are able to enhance unity through the sharing of information and get social awareness and empathy. So if you would tap into this light trait and communicate what's going on, you will enhance the unity with divine feminine, and you will receive awareness and empathy. You're in the shadow of the bully right now. This conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. I could so attest to this. My twin's MO is that when I declare a boundary, I get vilified. There's no accountability for that person. There's he tries to get me to be like, oh no, I don't hate you, which I don't, but I don't need to say that to you. You have to not believe that about me. I don't hate anyone. It's not true. I hate jazz. No, I'm just kidding. I do hate jazz a little. There's some jazz I like. Anyway, I don't hate anyone. I can find it in me to forgive everyone. So my masculine will do that. He will bully me, call me names, all indirectly, which is in and of itself abusive. So yeah, going into this bullying energy, and you need to highlight your tendency to intimidate others. So you need to become aware that you do this and confront the inner fears that are bullying you. Like thinking I hate you, for instance. God is here with you right now, divine masculine and love. So you've got the head honcho here and the overall focus of the reading, love and the lovers. What is interesting about this card is that there's the king and the queen, and there's these inner children that are healed. I love that about this lovers card. It's like only when those inner children are healed can you truly enter into the union of the lovers. And I'm also seeing this wizard-like energy that's manifesting. Now, normally this is an angelic energy, but this almost looks like a wizard, and that's sort of like blessing, and that's interesting. Anyway, so your guardian right now is literally God and love, divine masculine. Feel that, tune into that, tap into that. My fearless freedom lights up the world. Both these cards are in reverse. You got so many reversals, my God. Hope is the conduit for miracles. Okay, so divine masculine, feeling hopeless, really having a hard time embracing that his freedom to choose, to make a healthy choices will light up his world. He keeps thinking, oh, there's no hope for me. I'm always going to be trapped. I'm always going to be bound. There's always going to be this some kind of energy that's like preventing me from coming forward. It's just such bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's just the ego. It's this. This is a drawing of a swan with teeth. It's a made up thing. So is this. Made up. It's all a made up thing. Lighten your load, divine masculine. You are being a martyr. You're like carrying the whole world on your back. You don't need to. Nobody asked you to. And then you're like, look what I'm doing. Stop doing that. Nobody asked you to do that. My mother was famous for that. Like, she would, not let you help at all. And then be like, I do everything myself. And you're like, okay, well, that's a self-imposed, like, state of mind. And the divine masculine is really in this right now. It's funny because he's getting tough love here. He's not, his heart, he's kind of a mess. And I thought that the oracles were going to be like, oh, it's okay. And the oracles are like, no, it's not okay. You need to stop acting like you can't share or express. You need to stop acting like you have to carry the whole world on your shoulders when that's a self-imposed thing. Nobody's asked you to do that. You're doing that yourself. You need to ask for help because you're struggling. And you need to make adjustments. Adjustments are required. Big adjustments. All your cards are in reverse, bro. Adjust. You're getting the great gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. Coming out with light in your load. There's a call here for the masculine energy to turn to the community that is around him. And unfortunately for many masculines, that's been difficult because a lot of the people that they've been attracting have been reflecting back to them their own sort of toxic behaviors. So the masculine is needing to turn to the people that he intuitively is called to, that have light for him, that can kind of bring him to the light, that can help him. And he has to trust that it's all coming together and that soul tribe is coming in for him to help lighten this load. We are getting bring your ideas to life, the electric eel spirit. You know what that card. Seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of electric eel spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path, so do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come, for Spirit wants to shower you with the love, success, and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. So don't be afraid to act, divine masculine. Go for it. And this feminine who's holding back the reins over here, go for it. You're being given these opportunities for a reason. If they feel good and they feel like they're coming from a place of love, then go for it. Your healing message for today is coming from Spirit Owl. It says 852 hertz. So if you want to listen to some sound healing today at that frequency, it will probably help you. And remember, this is for you as a person, not just the energy that you're focused on. This is number 20. Also the Judgment card. Recalibration to a higher order of divine purpose is in progress. It is not always a smooth ride, but it is safe to be fearless as you gently hold space for new ways of thinking, living, and seeing to emerge. You are encouraged to let go of opinions and belief systems that cannot support you in higher frequency states. You shall soon recognize a truth that cuts through confusion and frees you to proceed with love, peace, and higher understanding. Spirit owl is the wisdom bearer, the one who perceives the intended meaning, underlying words, and the truth behind appearances. Even in darkness, spirit owl senses subtle movements with accuracy. The heightened senses of spirit owl are akin to the supernatural perception of the higher self. Your higher self sees through illusion and with compassion. It astutely recognizes the agendas of the ego and tunes into the empowering energies of the universe to find a constructive way to express its loving purpose. The 852 frequency is the frequency of higher self connection, which favors the clearing of the mind and awakening of genuine insight and higher understanding. The Oracle of Spirit Owl of 852 reconnects you to your authentic soul path and higher purpose. It is a sign that your mind is tuning into something true. It augurs clear seeing and higher understanding. You will be freed from a struggle and set on a creative, empowering, and effective path of manifestation. This is a blessing of creative psychological fire. Trust that the more you let go, the more you will experience renewal and stunning spiritual rebirth. The past is truly over, and a new era is dawning. Cool. Wow. Here's your theme, Divine Masculine. The Seven of Swords. Cheating, lying, stealing, hiding. And interestingly, this one truth here, the Ace, cuts through the Six of Swords here. The Six of Swords being this moving on to a new shore. And it's like you need to embrace the truth of why the feminine is moving on and come up with a plan or a strategy to actually heal yourself rather than trapping yourself in this mental prison. So you really need to embrace the truth that you have been hiding from yourself. All right, Divine Feminine, your oracles. You are in the shadow attributes of the mother, which you know what? I'm not upset about it because you know it. Your Queen of Pentacles came out in reverse. Smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. You are instilling guilt in yourself for becoming independent. And the way you are doing this is because you are still holding a grudge. Ooh, I don't want to hear this, so I know it's true. About the masculine's independence, because the masculine was enacting his own independence in his Seven of Swords energy. Doesn't mean he didn't wound you, but you're smothering him because you were saying like, no, you can't do those things. You can't explore those things. You can't, have sexual urges, or you can't have sexual addiction and still have me in your life. And that has to end. And the thing is, it might be true that you don't want a partner who acts that way. That's fine. But you must truly forgive a person for being who they are, and forgive yourself for having a different expectation of that person and allowing yourself to be disappointed. Because while that person may have indicated future potential, they did not make actual promises. My dog is sick. My dog is sick. So this is a really big problem. Hang on a second. I cannot. It's just a day today for me. I just wanted to have one good reading. We're having so many interruptions. I'm sorry, your tummy's not feeling well, baby. Alright. I hope she's not sick with a flu now. What's going on today? So you cannot let yourself be independent because you can't forgive the masculine for being independent. And to be in the light is nurturance, patience, unconditional love, and a joy in giving birth to life. So for as long as you stay in this place where you kind of smother the masculine's independence, you're smothering your own independence. You know, if the masculine didn't make you any real promise, he betrayed only himself. Because you know what his true desire is. He's told you what his true desire is. So it's really you that he has, it's really himself rather, not you that he has wronged. That's the real tea, even if that's difficult for you to embrace. Saint Raphael, my saint, my archangel, is here with the healthful eating card. Which, interestingly, coming up with my spiritual nourishment course corresponds well. But this is just take care of yourself, feminine. If you're over nurturing others, then you're probably not taking care of yourself. That also is coming up with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. You are not prioritizing yourself necessarily. So you're needing to do this. This is also, Saint Raphael is also known as the twin flame angel or the angel of marriages or unions. It's interesting for him to come up for me today, especially when I take into context the divine feminine side, which is you have somebody who's adding to your self-love right now, who's reciprocating, who's really in their divine masculine energy. Like really, really this person is honestly in their divine masculine energy. So, you know, embrace that if that's happening for you too. Divine feminine, you are getting the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. And that was in reverse. Now what's so funny is what I think I need right now is to finally have this manifestation of a union. You okay, baby? Oh, my poor puppers. To finally have this manifestation is what I think I need. This is telling me to forget what I think I need. But forget the way that the way that you think that's going to happen. Like, yes, the lovers is the theme for today. The lovers, the union. And you know what it was really interesting is in this card, both the lovers are all looking at this angelic being or this wizard energy. In the original Smith-Waite imagery for the card, the feminine, the masculine looks at the feminine, and the feminine looks at the spirit. And the true meaning of that card is that the material looks to the spirit, which is inspired by the divine. It's about the divine partnership. So interesting that in this case, everyone is looking at the divine, masculine and feminine, not just feminine, but balanced masculine and feminine. So you might think that, oh, coming into a physical union with a lover is what I need. But what you really need is that everyone involved is actually focused on their divine purpose. I choose to learn through love. Well, isn't that convenient? Because that's what you're doing. Reconciliation, forgiveness. We see over here that this masculine energy needs it. He needs forgiveness for his confusion, for his inability to choose the feminine. And the feminine who's in her over nurturing energy, over mothering energy, needs to forgive herself for setting up expectations with a masculine who wasn't ready to choose her and feeling betrayed when he didn't, and letting her ego emphasize the separation between them. Have faith in your dreams. My dreams have changed. And I think your dreams do change. But have faith in them. Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, is here, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. This is that card that comes up when I have to remind you that in order for Christ to be born, Anna, his grandmother, had to have been born, and her womb had to have become immaculate for the conception of Mary, who would be a vessel who would be able to bring Jesus into the world, right? That legacy, that plan exists here. There is this divine plan, which is why you must surrender right now. If you said, God, please, I need to see reciprocation, and you're getting it, and it's not from who you think it is, it's up to you to choose. You can wait around for your silent king. And you know what? If you did that, I guess that would be part of the divine plan. Or you can go towards the reciprocity that you asked for, which would, again, also be part of the divine plan. There's really no way you can get it wrong. You can't get it wrong, and you'll never get it done. Sorry to tell you. Believe in yourself, divine feminine. You're getting squirrel spirit here. This is the 57th card. You have accumulated wisdom and experience and are surrounded by all you need. An abundance of resources is available to you through the generosity of spirit and all your hard work. Squirrel spirit shows up when you need reminding that the acorns you have gathered and stowed away have enormous potential to grow. So relax into knowing there is always enough, and you have what it takes to co-create the reality you want to experience. Through diligent preparation, you have gained wisdom and strength. How much potential you have. Believe in yourself, for spirit believes in you and wants you to know you have enough and are enough. Doesn't that truth make you feel safe and secure? It should, for you have everything you need right now. For that to be true, if you have everything you need right now, and you're here right now thinking that you need something else to feel complete, that means whatever it is you think you need, you don't actually need. This is our healing card for today. Archon Barbello. And it is the 10th card. A completion number. Come on. Let's go. Your biology and gender are creative and powerful means for you to express your soul path. Sometimes you may feel limited by gender constraints or stereotypes, but your spirit can never be restricted or controlled. Embrace the journey of what it feels like to be you in your own body. There is much benefit and healing to be gained through an embrace of your life journey, including the deeper experience of the absolute freedom of your spirit. Archon Barbello is an angel, goddess, divine mother, and sacred space. She is mysterious and powerful. She is the inviolable purity and truth of your being, the spiritual essence within you that is eternal and cannot be tainted or distorted. Her presence in a reading is a sign that any errors in judgment shall be corrected and any losses shall be restored. If you have been off your path or become disconnected from your real self, she is the innate understanding and power within your heart that pulls you back into authentic connection and true direction. If you have any concerns about, hang on. To shine the light in the world where it is most needed requires you to have a soul journey as a human being in a physical body with biology and gender. If you have any concerns about this or wish to bring healing to those who have such concerns, this oracle brings encouragement. Ask for help and healing from divine spirit that all souls find truth in their journey, blessed with mercy, wisdom, grace, and compassion. This is really about you embracing that. What I was saying when I was first talking about this King of Swords is that this is your energy. So is this King of Cups. This is within you. It doesn't matter that your gender is not masculine. You have the power to embody the masculine within you, which is an emphasis on this. Whatever you think you need, which is an external masculine energy, you do not need it. For as long as you think you need him, you won't ever be able to truly be with him because it will be that codependent energy. It's when you do not need him that you can share your life. It sounds counterintuitive. Divine Feminine. Three of Swords. Sorrow. How interesting that the theme this week for each twin are two cards typically associated with third-party energy, pain. And we already saw that the Three of Swords was here for the masculine. So the masculine has cheated, betrayed, misled, misdirected, tried to get away with something, and wounded the feminine by doing this. The feminine's wounds need to be healed. The forgiveness that came up with that Mother card in reverse and the Judgment card in reverse and the Reconciliation card. This must be healed for the feminine, even to have a healthy relationship with any other person who's going to come in next. So feminine, if you think you're dodging a bullet by going towards this new energy and not dealing with the old one, that won't end well. You, in order to go towards this new energy, you must truly pull that sword out. You have to pull the sword out of your heart and heal that wound. Like that truth, that piercing truth that you saw, you've got to actually heal that. You have to have full forgiveness for the other person in order to be really, truly open to this new energy. And you have to embrace that you are not inflicting the same type of wound on the masculine because your masculine knew that you were open, willing, able, and expecting the union that was promised when the masculine betrayed you. In this situation, the feminine knows that the masculine is closed, unwilling to commit, not communicating, and not offering anything outside of indirect, vague communications about a potential future. If you choose another energy, you are not betraying this masculine. This masculine is closed to you. You were open, and the masculine was like, I love you, but I can't do this, right? The masculine says, I can't do this. And you say, okay, well, I'm open. That is not a betrayal. It is not. All right, we are at the final cards for this union. Let's close out. These are the things that we are sharing, both the masculine and feminine energy. I gave a pretty big, long thing at the beginning of the reading, but I'll just briefly go over right now. Please go to pearlsprayers.com. You can click support to send me a gratuity through PayPal or use any credit card or debit card. You can book a personal reading. And coming up on the 23rd, you're going to be able to purchase access to a 4-week-long self-directed course on spiritual nourishment that includes readings, healing meditations, journal prompts, and hopefully will help strengthen your feminine energy within self. It is not for just feminine identifying gender, it is for everyone to come into intuitive nourishment. So, if you are planning on starting a diet on January 1st, how about doing this course instead, which will help you develop a really intuitive relationship with food and no longer need to rely on external rules or regulations, but be able to rely on your own internal cues regarding food and eating and nourishing yourself. So that's going to be available on the 23rd. You can also access my music there, and you can find my TikTok that I do 6 days a week and all the other good stuff. So thanks so much for being here. Thank you to everybody who's in the chat participating. For the people who sent me healing over the last week and condolences. My grandmother did pass on Sunday after struggling with COVID for 2 weeks, and she was in her 80s and had other health issues. A prime candidate for fatalities from COVID, but it was really difficult. She was almost like my mom to me when I was young, because my parents were very young when I was born, like 19 and 23, and so I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and now they have both passed. All my grandparents are now passed. So it was a rough week for me, and I also thought I had COVID. My friends got COVID. People that I kissed in a photo booth last week because it was really fun the week before I got COVID. And I was like, I must have it. My test came back negative, so apparently I do not, but I had some kind of super cold. So it was really a rough week, and everybody who sent healing, I really appreciate it. And if you could send gratuities this week or purchase gifts for people or book readings this week, it would really help me. I had big plans. I was going to go home. Not going to happen. So I would really like to be able to go home for my spring burial for my grandmother, and I will need support for that. So thank you so much for all of that. And let us now finish the reading. The both of you are in the shadow attributes of the Avenger, which says resorting to violence in the name of a cause. But for me, what this is about is that you both feel wronged, and your reasons for wanting to avenge the situation are ego-based. You need to come into the light, which is a desire to balance the scales of justice and of righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So I feel like you both feel wronged. The masculine, my ego has a hard time feeling compassionate about this, because it's like, how can I feel compassionate for somebody that's not communicated at all what is going on? And the only thing they communicated is promises they don't keep. And the only thing that I end up finding out is from people around us that they're actually not doing anything like that. So it's hard for me not to feel like, what am I being compassionate for? Like, how could he be righteous? How could he feel righteous? Like, I can't believe that you're going to be with somebody else when I've not done anything I said I was going to do. And I'm sticking my dick in other people. I don't understand. So it's like, I want to avenge myself. I want to avenge what happened to me. So I can tell that I definitely feel like I have a righteous reason to continue on with my life and not give a fuck about this person. Okay. That person feels the same. They're like, well, she can't see that I did all of this for her, and that I'm still doing this for her, and now she's going to go be with somebody else. The masculine also might be wanting to avenge the dynamic between them. It could be, instead of him feeling that way, maybe it's more that whoever this beastly energy is that he's afraid of, this Queen of Wands reverse, which honestly I think is just the divine feminine herself being pissed off. But if there was another karmic or something, being upset with the injustice going on there and wanting to avenge the situation, it's just not helping you. Vengeance and all this, it is not helping you. And I feel like you need to tune into the journey aspect. There's a map here. You need to tune into the fact that this is a journey, and you're not doing these things to each other. Things are happening for you because you need wounds healed. And this is the way to heal them. You don't like this. Practice makes perfect. You never like this card. You don't like it. Both of you would like to just be really good at everything right away. And you don't like the discomfort of not knowing exactly how to do something yet. You also might not be practicing. You might not be practicing the skills and practicing using the tools that you were being given day after day in my readings. Like, there's a resistance here to truly mastering something. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I am being guided. You must embody this feeling. And this is dragonfly spirit, things coming to light, right? Just believe, just trust. Get in that chariot, surrender the reins, and trust that the direction is the right direction. Compassion. Divine Feminine, you're Queen of Pentacles in reverse. You're being too compassionate for the masculine that hurt you. Masculine, you need to have more compassion for how the feminine feels and be less victimizing of yourself. Because what's happening is the masculine is being like, I hurt the feminine so much, and then feeling compassionate for himself for having hurt the feminine and losing the feminine, and wanting the feminine to feel sorry for him because he lost her. The narcissism is just, it's incredible there. The masculine has to be like, see, he doesn't want to do this because the way he's doing it right now means he doesn't have to feel his feelings. If he's a victim, and the feminine should feel sorry for him because he couldn't give her what she wanted. Feminine, you should feel sorry for me because I can't. Where the fuck did that card go? It shows up. Feminine, you should feel sorry for me because I can't give you what you need, and that's so hard for me. No, masculine, that's not how compassion should work. The way that it should work is not going to be comfortable for you. Compassion means you have to put yourself in the feminine's place, and you have to sit there and you have to feel how it felt. You're experiencing that now as there's someone else pouring into feminine's cup. And for feminine, that isn't coming from a place of vengeance, I want to say. I will say that aspect isn't. She can't even give that to herself because she doesn't want to hurt you, because she's being too compassionate, because she knows how it felt to find out that 9:22 on the clock, that masculine was spreading his seed every which way, okay? Masculine has to feel that. He has to feel it. He can't numb it. He can't detach from it. He can't make it about him. He just has to sit in it, feel it, and forgive himself for doing it. And know that he did it because of all the things I say every time I do a reading. Unhealed childhood wounds, not knowing how to love people, not practicing the tools and skills you're having. It's fine. It's okay. People make mistakes. But when they keep making the mistakes and they refuse to feel the hurt that they inflict upon others, they refuse to be truly compassionate for anybody but themselves. When that happens, they must be on their own. Those type of people, they must be on their own in a little bubble by themselves, not allowed to inflict their wounds on other people. Get out of the victim mentality. Nobody did anything to you. You have done all of this to yourself, all of it. Feminine, I'm talking to you too. This is your reading. This is your part of the reading where it's for both of you. You did this to yourself. You took a masculine who you knew was distorted, emotionally unavailable, inaccessible, shadowy, shady, not transparent, not communicating with you directly, and you engaged yourself to that person in your mind. You committed yourself to them so that when they acted exactly how you could see they were, you felt betrayed. You betrayed yourself, which is why you're having a hard time forgiving yourself. You are good enough. You don't have to do anything to be worthy. Nothing. You were born, you're worthy. You were born, you are worthy. And you might think, well, there's people who are unworthy. No one is unworthy. The most depraved individual with the least amount of respect for human life is still worthy of love. Still, always, every second that entity exists in consciousness is worthy of love. And if the most depraved individual on the planet is worthy of love, then you certainly are worthy of love. Get grounded. Highly sensitives, connect with nature, meditate, ground yourself, connect with the spirit, and bring what is fantasy into the reality. Actually ground the fantasy. Feminine, do you want reciprocity? Do you want to be with a partner who pours into your cup instead of just draining it? Do you want to be with a divine masculine energy who's worked on himself? There is an energy right now around you that is available for that. Sacred scar. This is the healing. I don't think I can do the full healing meditation today, but I will read you this card. This is 11. Oh my God. When we got 10, I flipped past 11 and I thought, oh, wouldn't it have been something if we got the 11 card? And then boom, there it is. Your inner and outer scars are marks of your soul's courage. They are signs of strength and survival of your willingness to be alive. The sacred scar speaks of that which once caused pain, being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. Trauma shall be transformed through spiritual initiation, leading you from woundedness to wisdom. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can trust your healing process and in the hidden higher purpose behind things happening as they do. You are strong and you shall flourish on all levels. Some experiences are hard to weather, even when our intention is to trust. Going through a challenging time is likely to give rise to suffering. Consider the mother eagle raising her precious eaglets in the sanctuary of a meticulously padded and fiercely defended nest. They know safety and comfort until one day, the mother who provided unceasing nurturance abruptly pushes them out of the nest and into the air. She knows this is how they will learn that they can fly. For the eaglet, there is not yet any such knowledge. Disoriented and disturbed, but eventually innate instinct overtakes confusion, and those brave little eaglets begin to flap their fledgling wings during the plummet from the nest. They have learned the purpose of the tough lesson and grown. The trauma of disruption became their initiation into power. You don't have to enjoy the process of growth, but you can always trust it has your best interests at heart. However, do not confuse negative, especially traumatic experiences as something Spirit has inflicted upon you. Spirit would love your growth to happen in the most joyful and peaceful ways possible. As your relationship to Spirit heals and strengthens, this can be the way you grow more often than not. However, Spirit also knows that sometimes we are to move through intense experiences before we can gain access to the light. Those experiences can teach us things only those who have truly suffered and brought their suffering to consciousness and healing can know. The lessons learned include compassion, wisdom, strength, and fearlessness of faith in spirit and in humanity, and the recognition of the challenges of awakening whilst having trust in the ultimate power of the light. Such a soul becomes one truly badass and divine human being, a powerful healer, and a light bearer in this world. The Oracle of Sacred Scar lets you know that your greatest struggles are the pathway to your potential. You are not being punished. Those circumstances have not been imposed upon you by Spirit, but Spirit will work with you to free you of negativities and bring you into the light, stimulating the sacred alchemical wisdom within your heart that knows how to distill goodness, grace, and healing from even the most terrible experiences. If you are deep in suffering now, know that Spirit is with you, loving you, and bringing you this oracle. You shall heal. Do not give up. Proceed until you are exactly where you most want to be. You have the inner spirit to ensure even a negative experience will only cause positive growth in you and in your life. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to close out, do the whole healing thing, but you can repeat this after me. And then I'll give you your theme for the week. So repeat after me. I am a divine soul on a sacred journey. The wounds that are healing are where the light is most active within me. When pain gets my attention, it is the divine wisdom within asking me to notice and learn something helpful and compassionate. My scars are signs of wisdom gained. The light can and will assist me in transforming even the most difficult struggles into holy paths of grace. Healing shall manifest completely, generously, and lovingly, according to divine timing, for the spiritual benefit of all beings. I am grateful, I am strong, and I am blessed. Gorgeous. Are you ready for your theme? It's the Five of Wands. It's the struggle. It's the internal struggle within you. Both of you are having an internal struggle. Divine Masculine, I've hurt the feminine too much to be able to let her go or be with her. Divine Feminine, I have been hurt too much to let this person go to be able to be with someone. There's one wand here that is in the way of these four wands of sacred union. And you're holding on to this one wand. You have to let it go. The internal struggle, it's not about one or the other of you doing something to liberate one or the other. You must liberate yourselves. Divine Feminine, if you have an opportunity for union and you reject it because of your past, you are doing exactly what the masculine is doing. Wow, I can't wait to watch this one again. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me today. I will be back on Wednesday with Obstacles Removed and Friday with Release and Rebuild. The Thursday, Tell Me Everything spread. I know it's going to be Christmas too. I probably will still do the readings though, because I'm not planning on being anywhere specifically for Christmas Day this year. I have plans for Christmas Eve, which is nice. But Christmas Day, I don't. So I might do a Christmas Day reading. I actually did it last year. But I'm definitely going to do Friday. So we'll do Wednesday and Friday. And then Grace Strega will be back with me, not this weekend, but next weekend. So hopefully for after the holidays, maybe for the new year. I'm not sure exactly. We haven't talked about that yet. Stay in 9:33 on the clock. Keep watching the Instagram stories for updates on when Sin and I will be doing the live TikTok for an hour and then the live choose your own personal reading, but it will be after the holidays. But yeah, that's the schedule. And the Tell Me Everything spread will be available. It's just going to only be available on my website. There'll be a membership page. Just stay tuned to my Instagram stories as well to see it. And you can go ahead and become a member. It's only $3. It's a really great and easy way to support me. And if I get 1,000 people to do that, I'll be good. I'll be good. I won't have to beg for money anymore. It's going to be so great. So anyway, be one of the people that supports me when that is up and running by the end of this week. That will be your Christmas present to me. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Happy holidays to everyone. Thanks again to everybody who sent me healing and condolences. All my love to all of you. Take care.